What if I told you that the single greatest treasure in American history is not buried beneath the sands of a forgotten island or locked inside a bank vault in Zurich, but rather it is sitting silently in your pocket change right now, discarded in coffee shop tip jars, and passed through millions of unsuspecting hands every single day across this great nation. 2 coins, 2 presidents, 2 centuries of legacy, and one mind-bending secret that the United States Mint never wanted you to uncover. From the golden glimmer of the 2007 George Washington dollar that launched a numismatic revolution to the impossibly rare and mysterious Millard Fillmore treasure that could be worth more than 1,000 times its face value, the fortune you have been praying for might be hiding in plain sight, waiting for the moment you finally decide to look a little closer. This is not fiction. This is not clickbait. This is the undeniable truth about the coins that could rewrite your financial destiny forever. Welcome to Legacy Coins USA, where we reveal the hidden value that the world has overlooked. And tonight, your journey to unimaginable wealth begins right now. Let's get started. Coin number 1. Picture a crisp February morning in 2007. Across the nation, collectors and curious citizens alike line up at their local banks, waiting for a small piece of history to be handed across the counter. The United States Mint is about to launch one of its most ambitious numismatic projects in generations, the Presidential Dollar Coin Program, and leading the charge is none other than George Washington. This is not just another coin. It is the tangible resurrection of a founding father, a golden-hued tribute to the man who turned a fragile experiment in democracy into a lasting republic. The 2007 George Washington Presidential Dollar is the first chapter in this sprawling series, struck at the historic Denver Mint, and it carries with it a weight far heavier than its mere 8.1 grams of manganese brass. It is a window into the soul of early America, and for those with a keen eye, a potential treasure hiding in plain sight in pocket change or forgotten jars across the country. Before you even glance at the striking portrait on the obverse, it is crucial to understand the monumental legacy this coin represents. George Washington did not simply serve as the first president from 1789 to 1797. He defined the very office for all who would follow. In an era where power was often seized and never relinquished, Washington's decision to step down voluntarily after 2 terms established a sacred precedent of peaceful transition that would endure for over 200 years. He was the general who held a ragtag continental army together through the bitter winters of revolution, and the statesman who presided over the creation of the United States Mint itself with the Coinage Act of April 2, 1792. It is a beautiful historical irony that over 2 centuries later, his visage would grace the first release of a modern coin series celebrating the very executive branch he helped mold. The mintage of this particular Denver issue is staggering. 163,680,000 pieces, which makes it a common coin in circulation, but a unique hunting ground for quality and rarity. Now, let us turn our gaze to the coin resting in the palm of your hand. The artistry of this piece, designed by Joseph Minna and Don Everhart, is a stark departure from the smaller Sacagawea dollars that came before it. The obverse presents a powerful, forward-facing portrait of Washington, his name boldly arching across the top periphery and his historic term, 17897, inscribed at the bottom. Flip the coin over, and the reverse reveals a breathtaking design that nearly jumps out of the metal, the Statue of Liberty. Unlike the static busts of previous coinage, Lady Liberty here is dynamic and commanding, her torch raised as if breaking through the confines of the coin itself, accompanied by the denomination $1 and the proud inscription United States of America. The coin measures 26.5 millimeters in diameter and is composed of a durable manganese brass alloy that gives it that distinctive golden luster. It is a hefty coin that feels important in the hand, a fitting canvas for the founder of the nation. Here at Legacy Coins USA, we always tell our viewers to look beyond the face of the coin, literally turn it on its side, because that is where the magic of this particular series lies. Unlike most U.S. coinage where the edge is reeded or plain, the presidential dollars feature incuse edge lettering. On the rim of the 2007 Denver issue, you will find the year, the mint mark D, and the foundational mottos of the American spirit, E pluribus unum, and In God We Trust. This design choice was meant to set the series apart, to give it the gravitas of a medallion from antiquity. However, This very feature also became the source of one of the greatest modern coin errors in history. Because the edge lettering is applied in a separate, somewhat chaotic process after the coin is struck, the potential for human and mechanical error skyrocketed. The Denver Mint, tasked with churning out over 163 million of these coins, had to navigate this complex production line, leaving behind a trail of perfectly normal coins alongside a handful of spectacular, valuable mistakes that we will discuss next. This brings us to the heart of every collector's dream, the error coins. For the 2007 Washington dollar, the most famous mistake is what collectors have affectionately dubbed the Godless dollar. This is a coin where the edge lettering machine malfunctioned or missed its mark entirely, leaving the edge completely blank and omitting the phrase, "In God we trust." While this sparked a minor political controversy at the time, it has since become a holy grail for numismatists. A regular circulation strike of the 2007 Washington dollar with a missing edge lettering can command a premium that transforms a $1 coin into a significant asset. Furthermore, other edge errors exist, including doubled edge lettering where the inscription appears twice, overlapping, and inverted varieties. These are not factory seconds to be discarded. They are unique, certified anomalies that third-party grading services like PCGS and NGC meticulously authenticate and encapsulate, turning what appears to be a common dollar into a prized showpiece. So, you are holding a 2007 George Washington coin, and you want to know what it is truly worth. Is it just $1? Or is it the down payment on your next vacation? The reality, as with all numismatic pursuits, lies in the details of condition and pedigree. If your coin has been through the ringer of commerce, showing scratches, nicks, and the wear of countless vending machines, its value remains firmly in the realm of face value. However, the moment we step into uncirculated or mint state grades, the story changes. A coin that still boasts its original mint luster, free of bag marks and wear, can be worth a modest premium. For instance, a common uncirculated example in MS-63 condition typically retails for just a couple of dollars above face value, but the climb to the top of the grading scale is steep. The absolute finest quality specimens known to exist, those graded by PCGS at the lofty and nearly perfect height of MS-67, are exceedingly rare. Out of the 163 million plus minted, only a tiny fraction of 1% survive in this condition. And now, as promised, we arrive at the final valuation for the absolute pinnacle of this series. Please remember, the numbers we are about to discuss are not for the worn coin you received in change at the gas station. These are for pristine, professionally graded coins that have been preserved in a time capsule since the day they left the Denver Mint. For the rarest of the rare, the 2007 George Washington presidential dollar in flawless MS-67 condition, we are not merely talking about pocket change. In the current market, the value for this crown jewel of the series ascends into the hundreds. Specifically for a specimen that also carries the coveted first day of issue pedigree, the market has settled at a value of roughly $475. For a standard MS-67 without that special designation, the value hovers around $260. And should you ever discover one of those elusive, godless dollars with the blank edge error and high grade, you could be looking at a value soaring well over $350. So, before you spend that golden Washington dollar, look closely, feel the edge, and check the shine. You might just be holding a piece of history that is worth far more than its weight in brass. This is Legacy Coins USA, reminding you that every coin has a story, and some stories are worth their weight in gold. Coin number 2. Imagine holding in your palm a piece of American metal that most people would toss into a vending machine without a second glance. Yet unbeknownst to them, that very piece of change could be the key to a financial windfall. The coin in question is the presidential dollar featuring the 13th president, Millard Fillmore. And while the date you might have heard whispered in online rumors is 2007, the true story is far more fascinating and elusive. The whispers of a 2007 Fillmore coin are the result of a common numismatic mix-up with the start of the presidential series. But the real treasure lies in the actual 2010 Philadelphia or Denver issues. It is within this later, correct minting that we find a perfect storm of low mintage figures, obscure presidential history, and the ever-present specter of the United States Mint's legendary quality control mishaps. This is not just a dollar coin. This is a clandestine hunt for the rarest of the rare in the modern era, a coin that silently sits in attics and coin jars waiting for someone with the keen eye of Legacy Coins USA to recognize its unimaginable worth. To understand why this specific piece commands such a fervent following, one must first wade through the swamp of misinformation surrounding it. The internet is awash with clickbait titles screaming about bicentennial rare USA coins worth millions, and often they mistakenly slap the 2007 date on a Fillmore portrait. Let us set the record straight with absolute clarity. The presidential dollar program began in 2007 with George Washington, and the year printed on the edge or face of these coins corresponds with the year of issue, not the president's term. Millard Fillmore, who steered the nation through the stormy waters following Zachary Taylor's death from 1850 to 1853, was not honored until 2010. Because of the economic doldrums and the glut of dollar coins already sitting in Federal Reserve vaults, the production of presidential dollars for circulation was slashed dramatically by the time Fillmore's turn arrived. This makes the Millard Fillmore dollar one of the lowest mintage circulation strikes of the entire 20-year program, and it is this scarcity, combined with the potential for catastrophic minting blunders, that transforms it from common currency into a numismatic jackpot. Now, take that 2010 Millard Fillmore dollar and turn it on its side. Forget the handsome portrait designed by Don Everhart or the steadfast presence of the Statue of Liberty on the reverse. The true narrative of wealth is written on the edge. The United States Mint, in its infinite wisdom, decided to apply the inscription's 2010 D or P mint mark, E pluribus unum, and In God We Trust via a separate edge lettering machine after the obverse and reverse were struck. This process was, to be charitable, a mechanical nightmare. It was the equivalent of a high-speed assembly line where coins were bounced around and flipped like metal flapjacks before being forced through a lettering die. The result for the Millard Fillmore coin was a veritable lottery of error varieties. Some coins slipped through the process completely untouched, resulting in a blank edge that collectors have dubbed the smooth edge error. Others were fed into the machine twice, creating a bizarre and highly coveted doubled edge lettering where the inscriptions overlap in a ghostly, illegible dance. These are not imaginary internet myths. They are tangible, certified anomalies that have been authenticated by the top-tier grading services in the country. The allure of the Fillmore dollar is amplified tenfold when you consider the visual nuance of the coin itself. Because the series was winding down and the public had little appetite for a new dollar coin, the quality control at the mint was not exactly running at the highest echelon of perfection. Coins were banging together in massive ballistic bags, creating a minefield of bag marks, nicks, and dulled luster. Finding a Millard Fillmore presidential dollar in pristine gem condition is akin to finding a needle in a field of haystacks. The coin's golden manganese brass composition shows every fingerprint and scratch with unforgiving clarity. Consequently, a coin that has been professionally graded as a superb gem uncirculated specimen, specifically at the level of MS67 or higher, is a sight to behold. The fields are unblemished, the luster cartwheels under the light like liquid gold, and the portrait of the often forgotten 13th president looks as if it was struck just moments ago. This level of preservation is where the value begins to detach entirely from the face value of a dollar and begins its ascent into the stratosphere of serious collector wealth. But we cannot talk about valuable Fillmore coins without addressing the most infamous and sought-after error of them all, the missing In God We Trust variety. Much like its Washington predecessor, the edge lettering machine was prone to skipping the collar die that held the lettering segment. When this happened, the coin would emerge with everything else correct, but the motto conspicuously absent. In the world of numismatics, this is not sacrilege. It is a premium payday. For the Millard Fillmore issue, these godless errors are significantly scarcer than the earlier 2007 Washington mistakes because of the drastically reduced mintage figures. When one of these blank edge or missing motto Fillmore dollars surfaces in a high grade, the market reacts with a fervor that would make the stoic Millard Fillmore himself raise an eyebrow. It is a reminder that in coin collecting, the mistakes of the mint are often the fortune of the finder. As we approach the moment of truth regarding the financial worth of these coins, it is imperative to separate the fantasy of billion-dollar bicentennial coins from the reality of the numismatic market. While you will not be buying a private island with a Millard Fillmore dollar found in a roll from the bank, you could certainly be holding the down payment on a new luxury automobile or funding a memorable family vacation. The key is authentication. Raw, ungraded coins are treated with extreme suspicion by serious buyers because the market for counterfeit error coins has grown increasingly sophisticated. To unlock the true wealth of a Millard Fillmore dollar, it must be sent to professional coin grading service or numismatic guarantee company. Encapsulated in a hard plastic holder with a serial number verifying its authenticity and grade, the coin transforms from a piece of curious metal into a liquid asset with a verifiable market value. The difference between a raw coin selling for $20 on an auction site and a certified gem selling for thousands is the plastic tomb that guarantees its legitimacy. So, we arrive at the ultimate question that brought you here today. What is the financial fate that awaits the discoverer of a top-tier Millard Fillmore presidential dollar? The numbers, when placed in context, are staggering. For a common circulated example that has been through the wear and tear of commerce, the value is simply $1. For a nice, high-grade, uncirculated coin without any errors, you are looking at a value in the range of $4 to $10. However, when we enter the sanctum of the elite registry sets and error collections, the conversation shifts dramatically. A Millard Fillmore dollar with the certified missing edge lettering error in mint state 66 condition has consistently commanded a market value of approximately $350 to $400. The true pinnacle of this series, the finest known MS-67 deep cameo proof-like specimen with a perfectly executed strike, is a legendary creature that seldom appears for public sale. When it does, the final hammer price does not merely whisper wealth, it shouts it. For the absolute cream of the crop, the value is not counted in tens or hundreds, but ascends to a sum of approximately $1,250. That is the power of a coin that was intended to be worth just $1. Do not let these treasures slip through your fingers. Keep your eyes open, check every edge, and never stop searching. If this deep dive into the fortune hiding in your pocket change has sharpened your collector's eye, make sure to hit that button and subscribe to Legacy Coins USA right now.